Photographer Harry Goodwin was born and bred in Manchester in 1924. Although his work documents a significant part in music history, this was not always what he intended to do.
I joined the forces to fight for England. They finished up fighting the Japs in Malaya. Then from that, I went down to Singapore, and then I really took photography up properly because I got interested.
Harry was promoted to photographer whilst in the forces. Realising his natural talents when he returned home, he photographed his first commercial picture.
The firm rang me from Birmingham, and they said there's a thing going on television at the moment. It's not very successful, and it's called Drink a Pint of Milk a Day. And I said, oh yeah. So he said, would you be interested in going and seeing a comedian called Ken Dodd? And he's in Manchester, and he's appearing at the Opera House in Deansgate. I said, well, yeah. I thought, oh dear, Ken Dodd, one of my favourites he is. So I took my cameras down there, and as soon as I got into him, I was at home straight away. The man is so good. And they said, after I'd done the session, the picture was so successful, that got me in properly because everybody's seen it. And I thought, this is not bad, this, I'm doing well. And he said to me on that night, he said, I can tell you now, the way you work there, you're going to be a great photographer. You're going to be a well-known photographer. You'll probably be more famous than me.
After the success of his first commercial photograph, an opportunity arose that would change Harry's life forever.
The woman, they rang me up and she said, they're coming to Manchester, a producer, very shortly, and they're going to do a TV show. It's a new one starting, and I've recommended you to go on that show. I said, what's it called? She said, Top of the Pops. I said, is it lemonade, that Pops? Is that what it was all about? Because that's what it was, you know, Pops was lemonade. She said, no, nothing like that at all. It's a music show. I said, music show? I said, all right, what's his name? She says, Johnny Stewart. So I went down for my interview. I said, what am I going to get if I work the show? He said, well, let's talk about you getting it first before we talk about the money. He said, but I'll tell you one thing. He said, if you get 6 pictures on the show each week, I'll guarantee you'll get a credit. I said, well, what am I getting money-wise? You know, because I'm not getting much money at the moment. And he said, £30 a week. I said, £30 a week? So I'm just about to turn and go away. I said, well, not really interested. I think I'm wasting my time and yours. So I'm walking away like that. He said, wait a minute. He said, but he said, if you put 6 pictures on television that you've taken, he said, I'll guarantee I'll give you a credit on the screen. It'll be on every week. I said, what's the credit? He said, still photographer Harry Goodwin. And he knocked him off the table. I come back at him like that. I said, you've got a deal.
Harry became the backbone of the show, capturing historical moments in one shot. Working so close to these famous icons, Harry became a well-known face backstage and has many stories he will keep with him forever.
Well, my favourite person that I met on Top of the Pops or in my life has been Cher, because when I met her with Sonny on Top of the Pops one day, she was so nice with me, but I thought that would be the last because I thought I'll never see her again because she's so massive. She's into films and everything now. How she got to know, I don't know, because these people rang me from London. They said, there's a girl called Cher coming over to do a tour of England, and she's asked me to get in touch with you and ask you, would you like to come and see her at the Evening News Arena in Manchester? Or to give me the date. I said, yeah, you're pulling my leg. I thought it was a joke. She said, she's giving you the front row for all your friends. So that happened, and when I went down there, I sat right at the front row, and she came out, I hadn't seen her, and she spotted me on the front row, and she said, Harry Goodwin, he did pictures of me and Sonny way back in the 60s on Top of the Pops, and he's doing pictures everywhere. He's one of the greatest photographers of all times.
It was Harry's outgoing personality and sense of humour that helped him get his place on the biggest show on television and allowed him to capture still images seen all over the world. But every photographer has their favourite.
Well, when I met Muhammad Ali, in those days he was called Cassius Clay. And when he came walking up to me, he had his manager with him, and he says, and he's smiling all over his face. I thought, that is the worst thing that can be for me. I do not want to know about a smile, but don't want a boxer smiling. So I got out having a row with him, get him going. So I said, I want to do some pictures of you. He said, well, what do you want them for? I said, what's he got to do? Like, why worry about it? You're going to be a champion one day, so they say, but I don't think you will. I said, because I think you're a bit overrated. So he said, you what? So he looked at his manager, he said, he's pulling my leg in. And he said, no, let him have a go with his camera. So I went over to him, I said, you know what I think? I said, I don't rate you as a boxer. I said, you're second best. When you get Joe Frazier, he'll get you, and he'll knock you out in the third round. There's no doubt about that, because he's stronger for a start. And he lost his temper then, because he came at me then, and he come at me like this. And he said, right, you say that again. And that was it. But I clicked, I took the picture, and didn't need to take another picture. I knew what I'd got. And when I printed it, I sent him one. And now me and him become very good friends.
Over the years, Harry has photographed some of the most talented figures from all over the world. However, the unforgettable talent behind the camera does not go unrecognised. Now a national treasure, Harry's work will carry on inspiring and conveying history to many.
Never give up. If you get a picture that's not so good, make the next one better than what you did before that. And that's how you come to the top. If you give in and say that'll do, that's no good. You've got to make that one better.